Hello, everybody. I wanted to welcome you tonight. So this is the first time I've been live on YouTube, Google Hangouts. So hopefully everything goes according to plan. So hopefully I'm just come down with something yesterday. So I'm hoping that I also managed to get through this with no hiccups as well. So tonight I wanted to talk to you a little bit about how I was able to create an amazingly calm working environment for myself, for my staff, and also for the clients that came into my business. So I wanted to first kind of start out a little bit about myself and how, so you've got a little bit of background about me. So I've worked in retail for a lot of my life. So I started out being an employee. So I understand that side of things too, and how we need to be supported as employees. Plus, I've also been an employer, so I've had quite a numerous amount of staff over the time that I've been supporting. So I was working in retail mainly before moving into my own business. So I had quite a few years of retail experience. And then in 2003, while I was actually working in a pet store, I opened my own mobile grooming business. So bathing, walking, pet sitting, selling products as well. So a bit of everything. So I opened that in 2003, and I employed my first employee in 2006. So that was a very scary, nerve-wracking experience for me because I'd never had employees and it was all scary. So from then we started clipping dogs and developing a bit more repertoire into what we offered. In 2007, I actually opened my first retail outlet. So it was a bit of an exciting thing for me to open up something that had people coming in, I could sell things and all that kind of stuff. So it was really great. So I opened my first retail and grooming salon in 2007. In 2009, I opened a second one. And then in 2011, I actually went over to America and I learned how to groom cats. And I closed one of my stores and opened a second store. And I had a dog grooming salon and a cat grooming salon next to each other. And we also had retail as part of that as well. So that was a really great learning experience for me. 2014, we actually introduced essential oils into our business and had a dramatic change with that, which I'll go into in a moment. I actually sold my dog grooming component of my business in 2015 and rebranded and went cat exclusive in a different location. And then in 2017, so earlier this year, I actually sold the cat grooming salon, which was always my intention to sell that. And I went full-time as an essential oil educator. So between 2005 and 2011, I actually won the Business Achiever Awards 5 times and was inducted into the Hall of Fame. So that was really exciting. And then in 2009, I was actually a finalist in the Telstra Business Achiever Awards. So that was a huge, huge year for us. It was really great learning experience. So my background has a lot of being able to understand both sides. So I have been an employee and an employer. So I know that there's different things that need to be supported. And I think as an employer, I was always on the side of the employee because I'm very empathetic as well. So I wanted to make sure they were getting the best support for themselves as well. So because obviously as an employer, we want staff who are happy, because when they're happy, they perform better. We get higher productivity. They tend to have more job satisfaction, so they stay longer. They tend to not get as sick. They aren't as stressed. Well, it depends on your job, obviously, but what we want to try and do is create an environment that is less stressed for them. We also tend to create a nicer environment for everyone to come into, and that's what we want. We want people to enjoy being at work, and also that they are going to love having opportunities to connect with other people and create an actual really nice environment. So what I want to talk to you a little bit about too now is basically what essential oils are and the difference in the different essential oils that are out there. And then I'll give you a little bit more detail about what we actually experience when we introduce them into our work. So essential oils are basically the essence of plants. So they are like the life force or the lifeblood that pumps through the plants, and it helps keep them healthy. That helps them to fight off all sorts of threats like environmental, seasonal, molds, funguses, bacteria, pests, all those kind of things. Essential oils help plants to protect themselves and thrive. So when we are using essential oils, we're tapping into the immune system of plant. So we can get those benefits that the plants use the essential oils for to help to support us. Now, it could be quite easy for a lot of people to consider that oils, or all essential oils, are the same. And let me challenge you with that, because for one, there's actually no regulation in the essential oil industry. So no one tells you that this is a good one, this is a bad one, this has got, they often have fillers, they have what are they called, synthetics. Sometimes they don't even have essential oils in them. And I know that in some countries like Australia, we only need to have 3% essential oil in a bottle to say that it's pure essential oil. Now, for me, that's not okay, because I know that I want to be looking after my kids, I want to be looking after myself, and I'm actually quite, actually get quite affected by essential oils, well, not essential oils, sorry, synthetic products that I get headaches and dry eyes and sore throat and all that kind of stuff when I breathe that in. So it's really important that we're not adding a toxic load to our body, so adding extra toxins into our life, but also we want to make sure that when we're using essential oils, they're actually going to work. So before delving into the doTERRA life and changing everything in my life because of that, I was using essential oils on a very, very small scale. So in my grooming salon, we were using a lavender essential oil in an oil burner and also in the washing machine just to get rid of the doggy smell, because it used to just stink. Nothing we could do about it. It was just have dirty dogs in there, and that's kind of what happened. So when I started using doTERRA oils, which the quality of doTERRA is, it's incomparable to any other essential oil, and that comes down to the way that they source their oils from places where the plants actually thrive. And when you source from an area that a plant thrives, you get a higher quality essential oil that's going to actually work. So that's why when people use doTERRA oils, they get these results that are unlike anything else they've experienced before. So we know that there's a difference when we've used synthetic products and we come back to the real thing from doTERRA. And I knew the difference between the lavenders, trust me, when I smelt them. The other thing that we want to make sure when we're using oils is that there are no traces of any kind of petrochemicals, synthetics, anything fake in there. Even using a pure oil that looks like another oil, and like something like Melissa and lemongrass are very similar. Melissa is an extremely expensive, rare, beautiful oil that has a very similar chemical structure to lemongrass, and some places will actually substitute lemongrass for Melissa because it's quite a lot cheaper to do that. doTERRA don't do that, and they make sure that every product is tested. They have 13 individual tests that each batch of oil will go through, and they will not sell anything that is not 100% pure with no traces of anything in there. So that is why people are having results with essential oils when they actually use doTERRA. So when we were using this other lavender oil, I was purely using it to keep the smell down. And it honestly wasn't that appealing to me, to be totally honest. But then what I found, and I kind of got my doTERRA oils and I was all new and I didn't know, it seemed a bit overwhelming. And I was like, well, I've already got lavender. I don't need to use another lavender. And the doTERRA one was about double the price. I'm like, why would I need to do that? Then I smelt them together. And then we started using them. And I saw the difference because I'd been using lavender in my salon before, and I had not had the same results that I'd had with my staff and also the animals. When I started using doTERRA oils, it was totally different. So there is a big difference between oils ain't oils, if you know that saying. So that's the big difference with doTERRA, is the quality and the purity and the standards of the company. This company is amazing. So doTERRA are creating essential oils unlike any other essential oil that's out there. So what happened when we introduced essential oils? So I still remember it quite vividly, the first real turning point for me. So I had it was only been a couple of weeks that I'd been using these oils, and so I was very green, didn't really know what I was doing, and I was going on just some things that I had heard from other people. So one of my staff members came in and she walked in and I could feel her energy. It was not going to be a good day I knew that from previous experience too, not just with her, but with other staff members, that when they come in like this, the day escalates because we all feed off each other's energy. So she walked in, she had her shoulders up, she had a drawn face, and she just wasn't coping. She wasn't doing real well. And me, with my excitement of using essential oils, showed her a bottle of wild orange, and I said, on the bottom of your feet. She was a really good staff member. She went and did it. And it was about 10 or 15 minutes later that I was on the other side of the room, and I turned around and saw her, and her shoulders had come down, her face had relaxed, and she was smiling. For me, that was the turning point. I was like, wait a second, did that really actually do that? Because I have been through those experiences and seen how that can change a whole day. And so we started to actually introduce the oils in a more, I started to introduce them in a more systematic way, and we started to diffuse the oils. And then we also I started to actually allow the staff to choose the oils that were being diffused. Because for those of you who don't know much about essential oils, our body is actually drawn to things that, excuse me, that we need. So something that our body desires or needs a little bit of support with, we're often drawn to it. So I would often have the oils out there and say, just go and put on some oils, and they might smell them and they'd put them on. And it totally changed our whole environment, almost became like a Zen-like environment. And as for anyone who understands what dog grooming is like, or animal grooming, it's not normally that way. We were very fast-paced. We're quite a successful business. Obviously, I mentioned the awards and everything before, but we would have a lot of dogs come through, and we'd often have days where the whole day would explode, and like one dog would feed off another dog, which would feed off the staff member, which would feed off an animal, and it would just start to escalate, and it wouldn't be much fun at all. So what we started to discover was that when we had the oils going through the day, they were supporting the staff members, that was then supporting the animals, that was then supporting the clients that were coming in, and we created a literally Zen-like experience. It was amazing. And I know a lot about other groomers and other people who struggle with feeling anxious, feeling quite low, getting sick, and all these kind of things that go on. And if we can have something that is as simple as an essential oil, how amazing is that we're going to be able to help improve the life of our staff, improve productivity, improve the working environment, help it be a much happier place to be, also improve people's immune systems and support, not passing on all those germs and bugs and things that go around as well. So it is something that has a far-reaching effect. And we did find that if anyone was sick, we would be using oils that would help with getting rid of germs and supporting the immune system. We were able to use the oils for all sorts of things. So I want to encourage you to look into it and see how you can support your staff and also yourself or your co-workers, whether you're an employee or an employer. There is ways that you can use this. If your boss maybe isn't that much fun to be around, maybe having the essential oils in there will help to improve that as well. So what we would do the most simplest way to use the oils is using a diffuser. So this is a cold water diffuser, and you can get all sorts of diffusers, and we would have one in our grooming salon and also one out in our retail area. We'd have one in the cat salon and out in the front with the cat salon. So we would have these going each day, and often with different oils, but I would just let the girls normally sort that out for themselves. So with this, it's as simple as filling up with some water into that little red spot there, putting some drops of oil in there, and then turning it on. And this works as a high vibration, and the essential oils will come out in a mist that will be into the air, and you can breathe them in. So that's going to help to support in any kind of nasty bugs that are going around, but also smelling essential oils is one of the quickest ways to help change the mood. So you can have the mood supported and changed literally within minutes, and I've seen it happen. So it's really, really powerful. So we would diffuse the oils every single day. Like I said, I would get the staff to actually choose them. You can have different diffuser points as well. I also had oils that the staff could apply to them. So I'd have some fractionated coconut oil, so a carrier oil. So anytime we're putting oils onto our skin, we want to make sure that we're using a carrier oil to avoid any skin sensitivities, but also to help the oils absorb better. So I'd have them available so they could use them that way too. And I did find like all the staff members that were working for me actually started using oils at home too, which then started to support them while they were at work with me. So it was a great win-win situation. So I wanted to talk about some of the ways you can actually use the oils and things that you can help to support in your workplace, specifically to support whether it's your staff or you or your clients as well. And let me tell you, some days having calmer clients, let's say most days, having calmer clients can be something that just totally shifts your day. So having the oils available for your staff is also going to help your clients, whether the staff are interacting with them or the clients are interacting with your staff, they're all going to get that support. So number one issue that we have in life is stress. And you can use essential oils to help calm that stress. And a lot of our work days are full of stress as well. So things like deadlines, projects, scheduling, managing duties, reaching targets, all this kind of stuff hanging overhead. And we can see stress developing in different ways. People get sick, they can get quite anxious. Some people will get quite low moods. So there's all sorts of ways that will develop. So if you're finding that it's a stressful working environment, there are things that you can do. So there's a few little tips so you can make sure you're starting the day out right. So get a good night's rest. And I'll vouch for that because over the last week or so, I haven't been getting a good night's rest. And that's why I've come down with something yesterday and I'm not feeling 100%. So make sure you get a good night's rest, wake up refreshed, and you can use essential oils to support you along the way, making sure that you're eating a good diet. And I know that this is basic stuff and doesn't happen all the time, but you know, if you can do it 80 to 90% of the time, it's going to give you a good foundation. Make sure you're drinking enough water as well, and being kind to yourself is really important. So there's a few essential oils that are specific. There's so many, I can't go into all of them, but there's a few that I'll mention that are really great for supporting with stress. One of my all-time favorites is called Balance. This is a grounding blend. So Balance is, I don't know whether you can see that. Balance is full of tree oils, which are very grounding, which helps to take you and keep you connected with just being centered and okay with what's going on in life. So that's a really great one to diffuse, but also to apply to the bottom of your feet at the start of the day, just to help to support you. Lavender is great, and also lavender peace, which I don't have it here. I've got lavender though. And when you smell this lavender compared to the other lavender that I was using, or a lot of other lavenders, this is amazing. So you can combine these oils together in the diffuser or topically. You've got lavender, you've also got coriander, not one of my favorite oils, but it is great for being quite good for that stress relief. We've got peace as well, so that's different to the lavender peace. We've got petitgrain, basil, marjoram, neroli, and also Siberian fir. So there's a number of oils there that you can use, and you can have them out as options for the staff or for you to put on to help to support yourself. So you can also use these oils to help increase morale. So a really great oil is called Motivate. Well, there's actually a whole set. So this is the emotions and aromatherapy oils, and I didn't actually have these when I first started with the oils, and I wish I did, because I will go in briefly some of the research about these oils that were used in the Vanderbilt emergency ward and how they helped the staff there, because these are life-changing. They're amazing. But there's one of the oils is called Motivate, and that's a mix of, you can't really see that, it's not focusing real well, a combination of citrus and mint oils, and the combination of those will help get you going and motivated. So it lifts the morale. But then you've got ones in there that are one's called peace, passion, cheer, forgive, and console. So there's oils in there that are going to help with whatever's going on through the day, and you can choose them strategically to help to support everyone. So if you are also having people that need some support for through the day, depending on the type of person they are and what they need help with, they can reach for different oils. So those days when something could go wrong, anything could go wrong and everything goes wrong, those are the days having your oils available is really powerful to help to support you. So we've got any of the blends tend to be really good at supporting you. So we've got the lavender peace, the elevation blend. So this is great for anyone that suffers with low moods. It was specifically designed for that. So it's a fantastic blend to use to lift those moods and lift you out of those really low moments. Then we've got peace, console, citrus bliss, which is the invigorating blend. This one helps you to get back into your creativity. It's a fantastic oil, and it actually makes my mouth water. It's a lovely, beautiful oil to use, and it goes really well with balance. Actually, all of these oils, elevation, lavender peace, citrus bliss, and balance, they can all be combined together. So you can do one with one of them together, two of them together, or three of them together. When you are using that in the diffuser, it really depends on the size of the room that you've got as to how many drops. I'm in a smallish size bedroom study area, I guess you could call it, and I use maybe 2 to 3 drops in my diffuser when I'm in here. In the salon, we would have quite a large area. We did maybe 6 to 7 drops, maybe 8 sometimes, depending on what we were using, and that would be a combined total for that whole area. Now let's see, what have we got next? Encouraging blend. So what I wanted to talk about, I wanted to really quickly go over, I mentioned it earlier, the research that was done about using essential oils to help support the staff at the Vanderbilt emergency ward. So in a 10-month study of the emotional aromatherapy blends, so that's these particular oils, there was a study on actually using these oils. So this is how powerful it is. They were assessed for their impact on staff in integrative oncology clinic. So let's look at some of the science as well. So the science of smell is, we've got the power of our sense of smell, sorry, I'll get that out there, is 10,000 times more sensitive than any of our other senses. And it's intrinsically locked into our emotion. So it does actually, our sense of smell, if you think about something, you're often drawn or repelled to or from a certain aroma. It often takes you to a memory that may not be a good one, or it may be a great one. And you can start to associate certain smells with certain feelings and emotions. So during the study, the 6 blends of the emotional therapy line were diffused, and the researcher diffused each of these oils for a specific time and she had the staff complete a survey each week based on how they were feeling. So pre-oil stress versus post-oil stress. So 60% of the participants said they felt overwhelmed prior to the study. After experiencing the 6 phases of emotional aromatherapy oil, only 30% said that they were overwhelmed. After the oils were diffused, positive feelings increased by 25%. How cool is that? Just by diffusing essential oils. Participants described that their ability to handle stress increased. So we're helping to support them emotionally, physically, and also spiritually in a lot of cases too. So, and mentally. Did I say mentally? All the 6 emotional aromatherapy blends increased positive feelings. The renewing blend decreased negative emotions at the highest rate, followed by the uplifting blend and the inspiring blend. So the renewing blend is, where are you? It's Forgive, there it is. So the renewing blend had the most powerful, so this is called Forgive. So if you could understand why you would use that when you need to forgive someone. So this one had the most amazing dramatic results out of all of them. So where is it? The renewing blend decreased negative emotions at the highest rate. So that one, and I'm not a huge fan of this on its own. And it's often the times that I need it that I'm drawn to it and I like it. The other times it's not one that I reach for, but maybe diffusing this more often would actually help to support me. So there you go. There's a little tip for you. As far as relaxed feelings in the workplace, the encouraging blend, which is motivate, increased feelings of relaxation the most. And then we had, can you see how promoting these feelings can reduce the amount of stress felt in the workplace? So prior to the oil study, 33% of the participants felt frustrated, funnily enough. Amazingly, these feelings were eliminated with the use of oils. So they were able to have this emotional support from these oils to help reduce this feeling of frustration. There was no response of frustration when the renewing blend was diffused. So that one was the Forgive. So this is going to help you work through a lot of those emotional issues that might be going on. Feelings of anger, when the uplifting blend, which is cheer, forgive, and console, or peace were diffused, reports showed there were no produced anger feelings. How great is that? Reduction in anger. Feeling anxious, so the uplifting blend, which is cheer, and the encouraging blend, which is motivate. Reports show that no participants felt anxious, and we want to encourage that throughout everybody's life, right? So according to this study, the renewing blend decreased the most negative feelings and increased the most positive feelings. Based on this study, the renewing blend is an excellent go-to blend for the workplace. So when in doubt, put a bit of forgive in the diffuser. It's a really great support there for everybody. So let's look at, excuse me for a moment. Let's look at how we can encourage some of the teamwork. So because every person's unique, what we want to do is try and bring these different personalities in together and create almost a sense of community. So based on their strengths and weaknesses, but sometimes that can be quite difficult to meld people together. So there's certain oils, every oil actually has an emotional way it can support you and the people around you. So some of the good oils that you can try is cedarwood, which is known as the oil of community. Cardamom is the oil of objectivity. Cilantro, this is one that I need to use fairly regularly and I don't use it enough, is the oil of releasing control. Clary sage is the oil of clarity and vision. Coriander is known as the oil of loyalty. Ginger is known as the oil of empowerment. Lavender is known as the oil of communication. Marjoram, the oil of connection. And the invigorating blend Citrus Bliss is the oil of creativity. So you can strategically choose oils to help support different elements that you need to work on. So they can support a positive, productive, and peaceful working environment. And don't we all need that? So in the work that I had, it was very physical. And so having oils that could help to support physical well-being as well was really important to us. So we used a lot of the ice blue rub, which is here. So this is the ice blue rub, which we used a lot, and also the ice blue blend. We would use both of those. That's great for helping support muscles, aches, and pains. Marjoram and lemongrass are really great, but also peppermint. Peppermint's good. And aroma touch, they're really great for helping with those muscles, aches, and pains, and also some lavender in there too. So you can, like I said, have some fractionated coconut all around and people can help themselves, or you can get little roller bottles, which I don't have any within reach. I do. You can get roller bottles and people can make their own ones and have the support there. Or you can get spray bottles as well and make things up too. So as far as some ideas for being able to diffuse your oils, you can have a small USB diffuser kept at each workstation if you've got workstations, or in each room. If it's in a large room, you may want to do a big one, or you could have one at each end or in quarters, etc., and kind of have it stationed off that way. Wild orange, lemon, and other light, clean, or fresh citrus oils are great options as introductions to essential oils. Most people will like a citrus aroma. And to be honest, this one, wild orange, my all-time favorite essential oil, and it just smells so good. I dare you to feel grumpy smelling wild orange. Dare you to. So add a drop of essential oil to a cotton ball or a tissue and place it in people's workspaces. If you aren't able to do the diffuser option, you can put a drop of the oil into your hands like this, and each person can do this. So this is wild orange. Drop in the hands, rub it together, and you can get people when they're anxious, and I've done this with staff members before, just had them do this and then breathe the oil in, and they're creating their own diffuser for themselves, and the heat of their hands will actually help to disperse that and take it in. So you can also add oil to your clothing, or you can put the oil into lotion, so an unscented hand and body lotion, and I do that every single day to help support myself. It's called aromatic dressing, and I suggest that you try it because it's absolutely amazing. You can also get people to diffuse oils on their way to work, so they get a really good support before they get to work. How good would it be having people getting to work and they're happy to be there, rather than they get to work and then you've got to work with it then. So you can also use the oils as a first aid approach as well. So you can really overhaul the first aid kit and have these natural options that are not going to have any synthetics or any adverse reactions to our body, and you can use them as your first aid option. So some places are going to have accidents more than others. Others might be very rare, but having these available, things like lavender, peppermint, frankincense, tea tree, On Guard, Digest-Zen, Easy Air, and Ice Blue. So these are kind of the top picks. So lavender does just about everything, great for skin support, bites, burns, all that kind of stuff. Peppermint helps waken you up, but it can also help to reduce your body temperature, so it can help you feel a lot cooler. Frankincense does everything. When in doubt, use frankincense. Tea tree is also great. It's a great antiseptic, and you can use that along with lavender for soothing wounds and caring for them. Also frankincense. On Guard is the protective blend, so that will help with any kind of bugs and environmental threats and nasty stuff that's going around. Easy Air helps open the airways and support respiratory health and coughing and things like that. And then you've got your Ice Blue as well, so you can make your own connection there. So there's so many ways that you can utilize the essential oils in your life, and each time you're using them in your workplace, the essential oils can help support emotional and physical health and well-being. So every time you use them, there's going to be a positive result with them and help to support people coming through whatever emotional issues that they've got. So I highly recommend that you look into using these oils, and doTERRA, hands down, the best quality essential oils that you can get. And if you really want results, you need to go for the quality. And I'd love to support you. If you're interested in knowing more about these and getting yourself set up for your workplace, I can help you and support you with that. Send me a message and I would love to help you. I also have a Facebook page, which is called Reeda Close Vitalia. You can come along there and see a lot of the stuff that I educate people with as well. So hopefully that's given you some insights in how you can create a calmer working environment. So I thank you for joining me, and I look forward to hearing from you. Make sure you send me that message, and I'd love to help. If someone else has referred you to this video, please make sure you go back to them and talk to them. Otherwise, reach out to me and I'd love to help you. See you later.